Good afternoon. Welcome to Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City, Kansas. Well, it's barbecue on the mind today as SKC2 host Memphis 01 FC. Good afternoon. Welcome to Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City, Kansas. Well, it's barbecue on the mind today as SKC2 host Memphis 901 FC. Of course, two cities famous for their barbecue, and the rivalry extends itself to the pitch this afternoon in the Central Division of the USL Championship. Alongside Doug McClagan, I'm Carter Augustine, and Doug, SKC2 won away from home at Memphis earlier this season. This is a series that's 1-1-1 between these two sides. Memphis in a bit of a good form as well. Should be an interesting matchup here this afternoon.
Yeah, that was the actual last loss of the season against Sporting Kansas City 2. But this game is huge today, because it's amazing if Memphis wins, they could put themselves in third. If Sporting Kansas City wins, they put themselves like 1 point out of playoff contention. So I think it's a massive game today for both teams.
Implications for the 3 points. Memphis 901 FC on a 4-match unbeaten streak. They'll try and continue that, and they'll look to a former SKC2 man, Mark Segbers, who gets to start in defense.
Yeah, Mark Segber's a native of St. Louis, Missouri. However, more importantly, he was a member of Swope Park Rangers a couple of years ago. And I got to be honest with you, I thought he was one of the best players we had that year. He was so consistent, defended well, but got up and down those flanks and caused chaos all season. So when he was gone, I was a little shocked, but I guess Memphis is paying the dividends for that.
30 appearances in 2019 for Mark Segbers, 1 goal, and it was actually against Memphis here at this stadium. As for SKC2, Ozzy Cisneros inserted into the starting 11 off the back of his first professional goal in midweek.
17 years old, Ozzy Cisneros. He's coming off of his first professional goal. He's the youngest player on Sporting Kansas City's roster. He's represented his country at under 15 level, and this kid is crazy good. His technical ability is amazing, and the goal he scored against a very impressive Louisville City was unbelievable, calm under pressure to put the ball in the upper 90. I'm looking forward to watch this kid.
Smashed it upper 90 for his first career goal. He's one of 6 loanees from SKC, one of 7 academy products in the starting 11 for Sporting KC2. We'll get you the starting 11s and kickoff for both clubs coming up next. Welcome back to Kansas City, one of the cathedrals of American soccer, the site for today's Central Division clash. SKC2 playing host to Memphis 901 FC. We'll take a look at the starting 11s, starting with the visitors, and manager Ben Perman naming 2 changes to the side that won 1-0 last time out against FC Tulsa a week ago yesterday. Into midfield come Dre Fortune and Andre Reynolds replacing Dominic Oduro and Raul Gonzalez, both of those players on the bench for Ben Perman, named head coach back in April after 2 years as an assistant. For the home side, SKC2, 6 changes from their loss to Louisville City here on Wednesday night, as in come Roberto Puncic for his first appearance for SKC2. Kave Rod, Jahan Rod, Ozzy Cisneros, Jalen Lindsay, and Wilson Harris all into the starting 11 for Paulo Nagamura this afternoon. 6 loanees from Sporting Kansas City, 7 academy players in a youthful starting 11 for SKC2. We're underway in Kansas City, 82 degrees on a gorgeous afternoon in the Heartlands, and it's immediately put out of play by Memphis. So SKC2 going from right to left with their blue and blue stripes. Memphis 901 FC in the all-white going from left to right. Joined by Doug McClagan, I am Carter Augustine. And Doug, it's a quick turnaround for Sporting KC2 as they lost here against, of course, one of the favorites for the championship, Louisville City, in a tight encounter on Wednesday night. They're back in action already here on Sunday. We'll get back to that in a second as Musha Galusa was coming down the left. The referee gives a wag of the finger. Matthew Corrigan, the man in the middle this afternoon, and it's cleared. Sorry, Doug. Back in action already. A quick turnaround for SKC2.
Yeah, Musha Galusa is still on the floor. I don't know if it was a foul, but he certainly is injured because he's in pain there. I think he might have caught an elbow to the chest or something like that.
Ran straight into Leston Paul there, the captain for Memphis 901 FC.
Yeah, quick turnaround for Sporting Kansas City too, and it's no shame losing to a Louisville City. They are a very, very good team. This is, like I said in the warm-ups, we talked about it, it's a big game for both teams. And a big game for Sporting Kansas City too. They've made a lot of changes, and a win here could put them maybe a point out of playoff contention, and that's got to be something they really want to get to. I mean, I know they develop players, and it's all about the development of the players, but you also want to win games, and to be in the fight would be a great position for them to be in. There are a slight negative. They've already played 16 games, whereas Memphis has only played 12. So they've got, actually, if they were to win, they bump up to 3rd with a game in hand on 2nd, and 3 games in hand on 1st place. So it really is a huge game for points today, and I think we'll probably see that in the battle and the fight on the field today.
Indeed, Memphis, who are on a 4-match unbeaten streak, including that win last time out against FC Tulsa, come into this match on 16 points, 4 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws, in 6th place in the Central Division. But as Doug McClagan was laying out, they have games in hand over everyone ahead of them. So they'll be eager to convert those games in hand into points. Of course, easier said than done. But they have put themselves in a position with this good run of form to make a push towards the playoffs. Musha Galusa appears to be okay as he duels with Mark Segbers on the near side of the pitch. Layoff there was a bit wayward from SKC2. And now the captains clash into each other in the center of the park, and it bounces kindly to the home side.
Seen a few clashes already, and no fouls called, but I think it is going to be a physical, competitive game today. Like I said, a lot at stake here, and with so many changes that were made for Sporting Kansas City too, it appears that they really want to win this game too.
3 changes made along the back line with Roberto Puncic, Kave Rod, and Jalen Lindsay all on loan from Sporting Kansas City. And here is Roberto Puncic, the 29-year-old Croatian. One of the few elder statesmen on display for SKC2 this afternoon. As they work it down the right, Jalen Lindsay tried to slide that cross along the top of the box, and it's intercepted by Memphis.
Wasn't the best ball there by Jalen. We've seen him play some great balls into the box. I think he meant to put it ahead of Harris and spin into him, but it's a little short on the direction there.
Second ball picked up in the middle of the park by Memphis, and now here's on the near side, Kareem Dakers getting his first touch in the early goings. Big diagonal from Niall Logue. It's inch perfect right into the feet of Dakers, and, well, he'll be disappointed with that one.
Yeah, that was a beautiful ball, 40, 50 yard, and like you said, Dakers should have been able to pull that one down. Just maybe took his eye off for a second, and ball went out for a throw-in.
He did score in the first meeting against Sporting Kansas City 2, Kareem Dakers, as back on June 26th, SKC2 raced out to a 2-goal advantage in Memphis before Memphis were able to level the score at 2-2. Danny Barbier, who is one of the players making way for the 6 changes, got the late winner for SKC2 on that day, one of their 3 wins on the season.
It's funny that both Smith and Barbier that scored in that game, neither of them are actually starting on the lineup today. Mushagalusa was the other one. So interesting, a little bit of a change of lineup, but that was Memphis's last defeat. In fact, Memphis went the whole month of July without losing a game, which is pretty darn good.
Over the top, Mushagalusa takes it into his stride, and just wide. Great chance for SKC2, and Mushagalusa, that's the guy you would want it to fall for if you're the home side.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day. The timing of the run there was perfect. The weight of the pass was perfect, and he brought it down quite well. And he probably, in his own mind, is expected to finish that. But a great effort and a good sign there early for Sporting Kansas City, too, that there is some space in behind that back 4 of Memphis 901.
There's a great camera shot there of the delivery from Kaveh Rod. And Enoch Mushagalusa, who leads the team with 5 goals. Perhaps would have expected him to test the goalkeeper there with his fine season in 2021 for SKC2. Now here come the visitors, charging down the right. Kyle Murphy, he's found a clever ball to the top of the box, and it's smacked over the bar. Dre Fortune running onto that one. And from one end to the other, a good chance for Memphis.
Yeah, great chance for Memphis, but not good defending there, that he's sitting at the top of that box, wide open, and he really should at least be hitting the target, if not putting that ball in the back of the net.
One of the 2 changes in the starting 11 for Memphis this afternoon, Dre Fortune. Is now foul called against Wilson Harris, and so it's back again with the visitors as they cross into the SKC2 half and are immediately repelled by Ozzy Cisneros. Another one of the changes in the lineup for Paulo Nagamura this afternoon after scoring his first goal as a professional. What a goal it was as well for Ozzy Cisneros against Louisville.
Yeah, darting run to that front post to lose his mark, and a great finish up a 90.
Now Puncic wants to display his passing abilities. He's looked for Jamil Roberts there, and then in behind for Christian Duke, well defended by Memphis.
So we're 8 minutes in, and the score could be 1-1 already, so hopefully we're going to have an entertaining game with lots of goals.
Wilson Harris picks it off the toes of a defender, and he rips one straight down the pipe. And an early save now, and a touch for Kyle Morton.
That's great defending there as a forward, putting pressure on the backs there, no foul, and he struck it real well. Unfortunately, it went straight to the keeper.
Just managed to steal that away from the captain, Leston Paul. Wilson Harris back in the lineup for his 5th start of the season.
Yeah, that's stuff you like to see, and we saw a lot of that on Wednesday night. Louisville did it to Sporting Kansas City too a lot, just pressuring the defenders, forcing little mistakes and getting chances that are 25 to 30 yards out as opposed to going the full length of the field to create a chance. So well done, Wilson Harris there.
Well, he's in the starting 11 this afternoon, as Kave Rod's done well to just get in front of Kyle Murphy. He's kept the ball for SKC2. All the way back to John Pulskamp, who is looking for Wilson Harris, and the referee spots the foul. Niall Logue into the back of the forward.
A slight nudge by the Irishman.
Claimed his innocence, but referee right on the spot there, Matthew Corrigan. And Wilson Harris in the 11 today after playing 13 minutes as a sub last night against FC Dallas for Sporting Kansas City. Bit of a boost for SKC2 to welcome the return of one of the greatest young goal scorers in USL Championship history.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, in the 13 minutes, I think he said, he had last night, he couldn't get that tying goal for Sporting Kansas City. Unfortunately, went down 2-1. But yeah, Wilson Harris had a great, I think it was a couple of years ago, we scored, I want to say 12 goals in the last 11 matches or something. It was just incredible. And so, yeah, it's nice to have a forward that you know can put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, burst onto the scene in 2019. So now Memphis come down the right. There's a left-footed delivery in towards the back post. Lindsay underneath that to head it away from the on-rushing Andre Reynolds. Kept in by Paul, who's done well to handle that pass back to him from Michael Salazar. He'll trickle all the way back to John Pulskamp.
Dangerous ball in the box there by Dakers, but well read by Jalen Lindsay. Took a little look over his shoulder first to figure out where the forward was. He saw Fortune made a deep run in, so he made sure his header went out to the player that was open. So great defending there by the top quality player, Jalen Lindsay.
Here is Jalen Lindsay on the ball. Back in action for SKC2. Jalen Lindsay, just his third start of the season for SKC2. So they try and work it along the back. And that's one rod to the other. John found his twin Kave, and they've created room down the right, but Roberts just had that stolen away. And bursting into the attack comes Kyle Murphy. He's into the area, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Toe pokes it past Pulskamp, and Kyle Murphy is on fire for Memphis. He makes it 1-0 with his 7th goal of the season.
I think that's his 5th goal in 6 games, and 2 of them have been game winners. Maybe this could be the 3rd game winner, but what pace there. I mean, he just bursted away from Rod, and Rod's not slow, and yet look at the pace of this boy. No one came across to see him, and because they didn't come across, he's like, I'm just gonna poke this far post. What a fantastic finish, and like you said, boy's on fire.
He scored in the first meeting between these two sides back in June. He makes it 2-2 against SKC2. And Memphis, how quick was that from back to front? What an impressive burst down the left side from Kyle Murphy. So the main man for Memphis gives them the early lead, and SKC2, who have had a lot of the ball in the early stages, find themselves trailing.
That might just be a little message for the back four, or especially the 2 centre-backs, to be aware of the speed of Murphy, because that ball, like you say, was just a direct ball forward from the left back that went 30, 40 yards in behind Rod, and then we saw the pace that Murphy had was pretty incredible. So that back four's just got to be aware of balls that can be delivered in behind them, and they've got to be aware of that pace.
He's listed 6', 180. Kyle Murphy. Big frame. He uses his afterburners there to create the space and finish through Pulskamp. Here's Mushkalusa for Harris. Oh, he tried to curl it towards the back post. What an important block. Niall Logue. Now, Jahan Rod ran onto that and puts it in the stands behind the goal. That was a massive block from Niall Logue.
Yeah, that's the pace and technical skills of Mushagalusa. We've seen that all season. You can see what Wilson wants to do. He's bending it to the far post, and that long leg of Niall Logue just blocked it, and that's a major play there, else we could have been back at 1-1 and game on again.
And surprisingly, Wilson Harris yet to score this season in his 4 previous starts. As Doug McLagan was mentioning, 2019, he finished with 10 goals in his final 11 games, 12 goals on the season. He equaled the USL single season record for a teenager. And then he went up and bettered it last year, 2020, the Young Player of the Year in the USL Championship. And that led to him signing a homegrown deal at the end of 2024 Sporting KC. When it fell to him in the area there, Doug, you just thought he was going to bulge the back of the net.
Yeah, and he had the right option. I mean, if it weren't for those long legs of Niall Logue, I think we would have been picking that ball out of the back of the net and we'd have been tied there. But that's just tremendous defending, give that credit. But yeah, Wilson knew exactly what he was doing, and most of the time he'd get away with it. But like I said, tremendous defending.
Niall Logue, one of the 2 mid-season acquisitions that are playing huge roles for Memphis. He's on loan from El Paso, signed on June 29th. Here come Memphis once more, and they have some decent options in attack. Salazar elects to switch it towards the near side. Former Swope Park Ranger Mark Segbers curls it in. Good delivery. It'll pop free to the edge of the box. Roberts was quick to get there first for SKC2. And it's wound up as a foul called against Memphis. And that'll be a change of possession when it looked like Memphis might be able to keep that in the attack.
Yeah, good call by the referee, though. He waited to see if there was an advantage. There wasn't, so he brought the ball back. But I think Swope Kansas City 2 might have dodged a little bullet there. I think when Dakers was carrying that ball down the middle, Murphy took off. He pulled himself away from the centre-back to create the gap. And if that ball would have been played in, I think he was in for his second opportunity of the game. Fortunately for Sporting Kansas City 2, Dakers chose the other option.
And it was a frustrated look from the number 9 for Memphis after the ball didn't come to him.
Just shows the class, though. He saw the dribble, I think it was Dakers, and he just pulled away from that centre-back. And the centre-back had to take care of the ball, so he just created that ball which was there, the slot that was there to play. Unfortunately, the ball didn't come in, but there's another great ball there.
Mushagalusa's found Lindsay, who's into the area. Back for Mushagalusa, just wide. SKC2 looking dangerous, and this meant Enoch Mushagalusa at the heart of things once more.
Yeah, what a great ball by Lindsay and a great effort by Enoch Mushagalusa. But if you look at it, I think it was just slightly behind him. And it's, yeah, slightly behind him, so it was tough to get round and get his shoulders turned towards that goal. But that did not miss by much. Not much at all.
Kyle Morton wasn't sure as he sprawled to his left. And Enoch Mushagalusa, he looks lively in the opening 17 minutes here at Children's Mercy Park.
I don't want to put the usual commentator curse on here, but it looks like we could be getting a lot of goals today.
Once again, Mushagalusa on the near side. He's 1v1 with Segbers into the area now. Just a little dink pass back for Duke, who lays it back off for Mushagalusa. Another shot, and he drags it wide of goal.
Yeah, another good effort again. I think they're going to want to get this one-on-one isolation here. Mushagalusa against Segbers, that's one heck of a competition there, I tell you, but he's looking very dangerous. He's looked dangerous all season. He's definitely been one of the most effective players for Sporting Kansas City 2 this year, without a doubt.
21-year-old leads the team in shots, as you saw the past couple of minutes, getting a few away. Came into this match with 35 to go with his 5 goals that lead the team as well, but now some miscommunication and a ball gifted to Memphis for a throw.
Yeah, bad pass back out there by Polskamp. He had one of those happen the other day against Louisville and got away with it, thanks to Graham Smith being on the line. So he's just got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful with that ball at his feet. And I've got to give him credit, you know, Sporting Kansas City, and a lot of teams nowadays ask you to play out at the back, and goalkeepers have to be good with their feet now. The day when you just be a goalkeeper that would make saves, it doesn't exist anymore. So sometimes you get a lot of pressure from those forwards, and That's where you've just got to be so careful on the ball.
Cisneros was fouled just as he let it go there by Laurent Casadou. SKC2 looking for this matchup for the umpteenth time in the early stages. Mushagalusa tried to square it across. Oh, it's back into the area. And Roberts couldn't bring it down for SKC2.
He's trying to bring it down on his good foot, well, on his bad foot to bring it to his good foot, and just couldn't quite put it where he wanted it to be. But if that drops short on his left foot, he's hammering that home.
Isaiah LaFleur just turning around there as SKC2 managing to keep building the pressure. Punchet's looking towards the far side, headed away, but picked up by Cisneros. Gets it from Jahan Rod. Oh, what a turn that is from Roberts. And he's barreling down towards the end line, in towards Harris. And just over the bar. SKC2 creating chance after chance in the opening 20 minutes.
Well, like you said, what a great play by Roberts there. He just shriveled his hips and turned him around, and then a great ball in, but just like the last ball, the box is slightly behind Wilson, and that's why it made it so difficult for him to finish. Of course, that's not Roberts' fault because he drove it into the box. Great ball, but it just happened to be behind Harris by a smidgen.
Just inches away from the connection there. Roberts and Harris. But now foul has been called against Roberto Punchet, who, well, did not agree with the call. Right here on the near touchline.
But what we are seeing is lots of opportunities for Sporting Kansas City 2 coming out on the flanks, with Roberts on the right and Mushagalusa on the left. And that is a promising sight, especially for that man in the middle, Wilson, if he can get on a couple and finish him.
He's helped pressure the goalkeeper into this delivery out of play. Throwing for Jalen Lindsay on the far side for SKC2. Punchet carries it forward. Slows in his tracks. And pass was a bit wayward from Kave Rod, looking for his brother Jahan.
You'd think they'd be on the same page, wouldn't you?
Twins turned 20 in June. Kave Rod over the top for Mushagalusa, just a bit too heavy and into the arms of Kyle Morton.
Yeah, just a little bit too straight. Talked about this the other day. The weight of the pass is hugely important, and when it goes straight down the middle, the chances are it will run to that keeper. If it's a little bit angled, there's a good chance it will stay on the field. So maybe just a little straight, that ball there.
Good battle there between Dakers and LaFleur. And then Dakers managed to escape the clutches of the young left back, but couldn't deliver his cross into the head of Kyle Murphy. A fun one there on the left flank of SKC2. Dakers matching up the 18-year-old Isaiah LaFleur.
We talked about him the other day. He's done very well. I think it's like his 4th or 5th game, and he's really grown into that position. I thought he's done well, and you know, with 6 changes, he's one of those that's remained from the other day, so that is a good sign for the young left back.
His 3rd start of the season. Here he is on the ball, and they're all in a row. 3rd start in a row. Really starting to come on. He wins the foul and quickly delivers it to Mushagalusa. Harris trying to curl it into the run of Roberts. He wasn't too far away.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ball in, maybe 2 yards ahead of him, and maybe the weight was a little heavy, but if that comes to his feet, controls with his right, hitting with his favorite left peg, very dangerous.
Segbers inside for Salazar. Now Zach Carroll slides it over to Niall Logue, who has an interesting story if you're an SKC fan, because his college career mirrored that of Roger Espinosa. Started at Yavapai College in Arizona before transferring to Ohio State. It's too bad of shoes to follow Now Jahanrod clips it towards Mushagalusa. Around a defender inside the area, penalty. Mushagalusa, well, he's been causing havoc all afternoon long, and he draws a penalty and a chance for Sporting KC 2 to equalize from the spot.
But that's what you get from Enoch Mushagalusa. Do you see how quickly Akers sprinted to get over there to give Segbers help? And obviously Segbers needs that help with a one-on-one situation, but just the footwork of Mushagalusa sets him up to get whacked, and that's an easy call for the referee to the spot, and hopefully Mr. Wilson will get on board here.
Wilson Harris has put the ball on the penalty spot. He will be tasked with trying to bring SKC2 back on level terms. Wilson Harris scores 1-1, his first of the season for SKC2. And it's all even in Kansas City.
Well, he hit it well. Not sure, I mean, almost down the middle of the goal, so his feet were not too far away from making a save. Let's see, from this angle, that was quite clearly in, but that's a good finish, and we're back in at 1-1. But we've said, you know, they've had a lot of joy on the flanks, right and left, and that's where the joy came from this time. It's just putting Segbers, and I feel bad for Segbers because he's been left on an island a little bit there. Coach has obviously mentioned to Dakers, when that ball goes wide, get in, tuck in, and give him some help. Dakers probably next time he goes in just needs to go in there a little bit more cautiously.
There, Logue just hit it off his standing foot when he tried to clear. It was picked off by Harris. And he started this move, and he's into the area as Lindsay charges in towards the end line. His cross blocked away, but it's out for a corner for SKC2.
Yeah, Logue puts his hand up. My bad, boys, my bad. He made a mistake early there, swinging for the ball, but in the end, his positioning, which was very good at the front post, made sure that cross from Lindsay couldn't get across the face of the goal. So, yep, I messed up, but you know what? I cleared it up, and we're good to go.
They will need to defend the set piece here for SKC2. First corner of the match for the home side. And a left-footed delivery to come. It's Roberts into the area. Oh, the goalkeeper took a swing at that, maybe just got a touch. It's out for a corner on the near side.
Yeah, that was a beautiful ball in there, but well done, Carl Morton, because if he doesn't get that, I got a feeling Mushagalusa's getting his head on that, so excellent goalkeeping there.
It's been a big addition to this side for Memphis, Kyle Morton.
Yeah, tremendous.
Important touch to take away from two SKC2 players waiting for that delivery.
He's definitely helped Memphis. He's on loan, I believe, from Houston Dynamos. And since he's been here, Memphis has definitely took a turn in the right direction, that's for sure.
He's trying to organize his troops once more, as this time Ozzy Cisneros will take the in-swinger from the near side. It's in towards the 6, and it's a good catch for Morton. Strong hands in traffic.
Tipped away the one before because it was a little over his head. This one was in front of his head, caught it, piece of cake, like taking an apple off a tree.
And you're right, Doug, he's on loan from Houston after an unfortunate injury. John Berner tore his Achilles in June. Such a big part of this Memphis team. They had the youngster Brady Scott, who's on the bench, deputized for a few matches before they were able to bring in Kyle Morton. It's in his 4th start. 93% save percentage coming into this match. It's incredible numbers.
It makes a massive difference when you know as a back four, when you've got a keeper behind you, that's the quality is, then it just means you can defend a little bit higher, take a few more risks than you normally do, and if a ball goes over your head, you know he's got it covered, so it just makes a massive difference.
Well, how about this for an introduction? His 2nd game with the team, got Team of the Week for 8 save performance against Birmingham. It's one way to introduce yourself to your new teammates.
Absolutely.
He had 2 clean sheets in his first 3 appearances, Kyle Morton, but he doesn't have one this afternoon. 1-1 after Wilson Harris leveled from the spot, canceling out the opener from Kyle Murphy. Lindsay just got there at the same time as that pass was a little light. He's gingerly walking off the challenge, the right back for SKC2.
It's a couple of times now, Postcamp's played a pass that's almost not got there. Like I said, he got caught the other day playing one out of the back, and I bet you it's in the back of his mind a little bit, and that's tough. You know, as a player, when you make a slight mistake, you're always thinking, well, I don't want to do it again, so you're a little bit cautious. You may not put enough on the ball, and he looks a little bit worried by it. How about that?
Roberts strong in the challenge, too strong, says the referee.
Yeah, I think Kishadu got bailed out a little bit there because that was a slight nudge for a foul there, but good pressure on the ball. And we're seeing, just like the other day when they played Louisville, they're picking their times to go, and when they go, they just go. And it's creating a few problems, as you're seeing right here. Just makes the defenders a little bit more uncomfortable on the ball.
And through that pressure, they are able to force the wayward pass from the goalkeeper back with SKC2. Mushagalusa picks up a good area on the pitch, but he shrugs to the turf. Now Kadeem Dakers goes to grounds, but the referee says there was no foul there.
Yeah, there's no foul in either of the plays. I think Dakers he knew he was getting pressure from behind, little nudge, and he fell down.
This will be a foul called against Michael Salazar.
That's just smart defending. He knew he was under pressure, he knew it, so he just got his body in between him and the forward and took the nudge in the back and took the foul. Just smart, professional play there by the centre-back, who's looking very good and very comfortable on the ball.
Punchits, as he delivered it into Jahan Rod on that occasion. Mushagalusa around Dakers, and he's fouled by the number 10. It's a tough task trying to guard this man out on the flanks.
Yeah, it's the boy's got pace, but as we've seen all year, he's just got so good technical ability that if he doesn't beat you by pace, he can just beat you by skill. And when you've got both of those, it must be horrible to defend against someone like that.
And I think you mentioned that on the penalty as well, just the fear put into some of the defenders and how quickly Dakers came over to try and help out Segbers.
Yeah, because you know it's a one-on-one, so it's like, I've got to get over there, help my buddy out, but you rush over there quick. One sharp little move by Mushagalusa, and all of a sudden you're hitting him on the foot, and it's a PK. And that's what he adds to this team. If I was a fullback, I wouldn't want to mark him, I can tell you that.
Took a deflection, and it's into the path of Memphis. And Kishadu, who finds Dakers on the overlap. Segbers, he's into the area, tries to slot it back. Important sliding challenge from Isaiah LaFleur.
That's where Segbers takes advantage of Mushagalusa, because while he's a great forward, he might not be the best defender. So when Segbers gets forward, he's going to be free with some space to get forward. And good defending by the youngster in the end to stop the ball going across the face of the goal. But that's where we see Segbers at his best, and that's when he was with Swope Park Rangers. He would get up and down that flank all the time. He's got to stay at home a little bit today because of the threat of Enoch Mushagalusa.
Mark Segbers, 30 appearances for the club formerly known as Swope Park Rangers back in 2019. Scored 1 goal for the club, and it was here against Memphis, his new side. A coincidence? As he has created this corner, it's whipped in towards the 6. Pooch has got there, was able to get ahead to it. The block, a shot from Reynolds, and Lindsay tried to steam into that one. Reynolds just had to get that anywhere away from Jalen Lindsay.
Absolutely, great defending by Reynolds, because if he doesn't win that challenge, Lindsay is off, and you're not catching him, I can tell you that. So, good decision there by Reynolds, just to knock the ball out of bounds, let his team recover, get behind the ball, and reset the defense. Now we're seeing a little bit of high pressure in here by Memphis, not allowing Sporting Kansas City 2 to get out of the back, at least not allowing them easily to get out of the back. There's that technical skill, lovely. Cisneros, beautiful skill and a great outlet to LaFleur.
Applause from the bench for the technical ability of Cisneros, and it could be an attack well intercepted by Segbers. LaFleur has tackled that away from Leston Paul. Segbers got it back for just a second. Harris on the turn, slides it into Roberts. It just took him a bit wide. Still an opportunity as Roberts for Mushagalusa now. Into the area, around one defender, and at the near post, claimed by Morton.
In the end, some good defending there from Memphis, but that was a beautiful ball out there to Roberts. Unfortunately, maybe just had a little bit too much pace and Roberts couldn't get a hold of it. But then once it came to Mushagalusa, that was great defending to stay on your feet and not to dive in. And again, not to get your foot on his foot and give a PK away. So excellent defending there by Memphis. Not sure exactly who it was. I want to guess and say it was Paul, but I might be wrong.
'36 minute. Still 1-1. It's in a game full of chances, especially SKC2 and this youthful side. You look at the two rosters, SKC2, just 3 players over the age of 21. Memphis have 1 player 21 or under. They're starting 11s. There is one of the elder statesmen, Christian Duke, picking up the foul for SKC2.
Yeah, it's a young squad, but I mean, not saying they're overly experienced, but there's quite a lot of high-level game experience by the team from Sporting Kansas City 2, other than a couple youngsters. So while they are young, there's quite a bit of experience too, which is a great combination to have. That's for sure.
The ability to bring in the likes of Wilson Harris, this man, Jalen Lindsay. Slides it in for Roberts. And now Duke delicately over to Mushagalusa. First touch inside. And there's the double team again, trying to come over and stop the winger. He's created a corner for SKC2.
And it was so much better by Dakers this time because he got over there, but he got over there casually, stayed on his feet and said, I'm not diving in this time. And so excellent defending it. And it's all about how you learn from a slight mistake from her. But look him get across. This time he's more calm. He's thinking, okay, I got to stay on my feet, give my buddy coverage. And look at that, that's excellent. That's good 2v1 defending there. Just made it hard for Mushagalusa to beat him. So well done, Dakers.
Roberts now with the out-swinging corner towards the 6. Powerful header down from Harris. It's bouncing around in the penalty area and eventually scrambled away by Memphis. Cisneros, that was too heavy away from Duke. And that will just dissolve that chance from the set piece.
Just had a little game of head tennis in the 6-yard box. There's about 5 headers on a row. Good effort there by Wilson Harris. And then cleared, and then bang, 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 head, head, head. 5 headers later, the ball got cleared to Sporting Kansas City 2's end.
Well, I know there's a saying in Argentina, if there's 2 headers in the box, it's usually a goal. I don't think they have one for 5 headers inside the area. SKC2 now through the left. LaFleur was looking for Harris. It was Zach Carroll who stepped in front. He's been the rock at the back for Memphis. Zach Carroll has played every minute this season. There's now a handball called against SKC2.
Yeah, referee didn't see it. I think it's the AR that actually said, hey, no, ref, it's a handball. And I think it was. Harsh one. I don't know how the heck you get away out the way of that one.
Yeah,
but
deflection there. Off the shin into the hand. Nonetheless, it's with Memphis all the way back to the goalkeeper. The pressure coming again from SKC2. And you see the hands there from Carroll just asking for any option. It's presented in the form of Michael Salazar. Well, it did well to hold up play, and Memphis is a bit aggrieved. They thought maybe advantage could have been played.
That's the right call by the referee, but just came at the wrong time because just as he blew the whistle, the ball popped out. And it would have been a nice situation for Paul to pick up the ball, but of course, if it doesn't pop out, then they're complaining about not getting the foul, so tough one for the referee there.
It's usually lose-lose for the referee.
Yeah, well, usually isn't every call anyway.
Another turnover, this time Lindsay intercepts Duke into Mushagalusa. Edge of the box, he shifts it onto the left. Good save, Morton. He's low and at his feet, and he got two strong hands to it, the goalkeeper for Memphis, as he keeps it a 1-1 affair.
Yeah, fortunately it went straight at him, but excellent goalkeeping because he got everything behind it. And very good goalkeeping there. But again, Mushagalusa, so dangerous.
Punchins is clattered into Murphy, and here comes a chance for Memphis. Towards the edge of the box, Punchins scrambles back into position and slides it at the last second away from Memphis. And now SKC2 trying to head up the other end. Harris swivels and finds Mushagalusa. We'll just slow things down for Sporting KC2.
Don't know if he was told to keep possession or whether he was just so tired he's like, oh, I'm just going to slow down and keep the ball this time. I think it could be B.
I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
Been up and down the left, Mushagalusa. Harris now, corner of the area. Oh, what a lovely ball! Fizzed into Duke, and he just couldn't sort his feet out. Great chance for SKC2, and Wilson Harris this time turning provider.
Yeah, he had a little peek around, saw that Duke was in the box, and oh dear, unfortunately, I think it just came to him so quickly. I think he maybe thought Carroll was going to clear it, and then when it beat Carroll, I think he was shocked that it got to him, and unfortunately could not put that ball in the back of the net. I feel like the last 15 or so minutes, Sporting Kansas City 2 has been the better team, created the more opportunities, but here's what they need to do. They need to take advantage of it. It's good to have the play and be dominant, but at some point, you've got to get something for it. And while they did get back and tie it up, they probably could be in the lead here, maybe by a couple goals if they could finish these opportunities.
Lovely pass off the left boot of Roberts into Mushagalusa's offside.
Maybe that's a little bit of his fatigue because he's got the whole line to see there, and that should not happen. It's a beautiful touch to bring it down. Beautiful ball, beautiful touch. But then when you look across and the linesman's got his flag up, it's like, oh dear.
Not so beautiful.
Yeah, not so beautiful. I can understand why he is fatigued. He's been going up and down that flank. And Segbra's been making him chase a little bit too.
SKC2 certainly has been trying to feed him as much as possible, Mushagalusa. Now Memphis can get on the ball. Carroll. And strong words from the Memphis bench there as it's turned over in their eyes just a bit too easily from Dre Fortune. Punches for Jalen Lindsay. Back into the lineup for the first time since June 2nd, and it's probably a welcome return for SKC2. Jalen Lindsay undefeated in his 2 matches, 1 win and a draw this season. And here he is playing it into Roberts, and it's just going to keep running away from Roberts and out of play.
Yeah, great run by Roberts, good idea by Lindsay again. We talked about this, I feel like I'm repeating myself quite a lot. The weight of the pass was just a little too heavy. I'm sure you wish you could get that one back again, because that was, like I said, a fantastic run by Jameel Roberts there.
Well, we're seeing Jameel Roberts, just the 4th appearance of the season. He got his first match here under the lights on Wednesday at Children's Mercy Park. It's a draft pick for Sporting before signing with Sporting KC2, off the backs of a fantastic college career and an incredible final season at Marshall University.
I think if you give him a little bit of time, he's going to grow into that position. I really like the fact that he's left-footed, he can cut inside, whip that ball into the box. And obviously, if he's close to the goal, it's a whip shot by that left peg. But definitely got a nice, comfortable left foot And as we talked about before, he knows how to score goals too in big games.
As we talked about the last match, game-winning goals in the final 3 rounds to win the first ever College Cup for Marshall. Goals against massive programs, Georgetown, North Carolina, and Indiana. What a record that is in a single tournament.
Well, that's when you know the boy can play, because those are games where it's possibly his 3 biggest games of his career. I mean, maybe not now because he's pro, but 3 biggest games of his career, and he scores in all of them to win every game 1-0. Those are players you want, that you know when it's on the line, those are players that can step up and change a game. So I think his time is coming here. Like I said, I think he's slowly growing into that position, and he's going to be a good pick for Sporting Kansas City too, for sure.
Into the final 30 seconds of the first half, normal time at Children's Mercy Park. Lindsay got a touch to that. It's into Roberts. And now Cisneros. Here's the shout from Jahan Rod. He drops it off to the holding midfielder. His eyes are up towards the near side. This was well intercepted as they were trying to feed Musha Galusa, but Segbers was able to read that play and step in front.
How do you stop Mushagalusa? You deny him getting the ball, and that was great play. Both Segbers and Dakers were watching that ball coming across, and like I said, they got to it first, therefore you don't have to worry about Mushagalusa.
1 minute added on at the end of the first half. We're into stoppage time now. Memphis once more forced back to the goalkeeper. And some arms raised. No one's quite sure who that pass was intended to from Carroll. Out of play on the near side. Throw into SKC2.
Well, after about the first maybe 8 to 10 minutes, unfortunately, Salazar and Murphy have not really been fed the ball too much.
This man's been fed the ball all afternoon long. Musha Galusa, quick step over away from Segbers. Managed to send him backwards for a half second. Musha Galusa over towards Lindsay. That's a difficult one to take. He was unable to. Well defended by Reynolds. The referee just takes a peek at his watch. Ooh, a late challenge there from Wilson Harris, and several Memphis players take exception.
Not sure something happened before, because that was a nasty challenge by Wilson Harris, but it almost looked like maybe it was in retaliation for something he'd received, because it wasn't even close to the ball. It was a bad challenge, and you should be happy he's just getting a yellow there, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure if that was a retaliation to something that happened earlier, but yeah, that is not a good challenge, and not something you're used to seeing him doing. And Loeb probably shouldn't do that, but I can understand him protecting his teammate too.
Dre Fortune was the recipient of the challenge and immediately responded. Wilson Harris got a yellow card right on the stroke of halftime. In fact, the referee was just about to blow his whistle for halftime before that challenge. Instead, he blows up for a yellow, and now we'll bring the first half to a close. Bit of acrimony at the end of the half, but an entertaining half, and Sporting KC2 able to find the equalizer through Wilson Harris. He leveled from the penalty spot after Kyle Murphy gave Memphis 901 FC the lead in the first half. It's 1-1 here at halftime. We'll be right back to break down the first 45 minutes of action.
first place versus second place. This is about as good as it gets when it comes to mid-season soccer.
Big game here. Both teams sitting there top of the West. Hey, Sporting Kansas City, not too bad right there, playing some of the best soccer going forward especially. So this is going to be a fun one.
Terry's right what he says. Everyone talk about them, how good they are. Let's show them how good we are, what we're about. We do not leave that stadium with nothing but 3 points. We win that game, right? 1, 2, 3, win!
Here's Johnny Russell sliding it through for Gadi Kinda. He couldn't quite get the turn. In by Gadi Kinda, finding Roger Espinoza. And just wide of the target. Ricocheting inside the penalty area. There's a bicycle kick that is denied by a tremendous save from Tim Melia. Now Johnny Russell has one sliding tackle. Down goes Russell. And we have a foul call against Seattle's Danny Leyva and a yellow card. That's a big wall, by the way.
It is. This is a tough one, too, because you are in so close. Almost wonder if Johnny Russell goes hard with power to the goalkeeper side.
And there it is from Johnny Russell, tucking it inside the post.
That's one way to silence this crowd right there, Nate. Johnny Russell hits this one perfect off the post and in.
Kellen Rowe has it deflected by Gadi Kinda, and Sporting KC might be able to get forward here. Kyrie Shelton bringing it up the left-hand side. Touches to Kinda. Kinda, now to Shalaway! The Hungarian assassin blasts it home, and Sporting KC lead it 2-0. Fontas' ball forward, intercepted by Paulo. Easy is down, and here's Rui Diaz, and it's tipped off the bar by Melia, and then cleared away by Johnny Russell. That was an incredible fingertip save. It's going to do it for Gadi Kinda. He'll be replaced by the man who was, by most accounts, the star of the show on Wednesday night at Children's Mercy Park, young homegrown Cam Duke. Zusi driving it in for Duke, and Duke blasts it in! Right on cue! The homegrown from Overland Park has opened his MLS account, and what a massive goal it is for Sporting Kansas City. Kellen Rowe serves it in. Dangerous one, Rui Diaz, denied by Tim Melia again. What time is it? Melia time. And there is the final whistle. An 18-match home unbeaten streak for Seattle has come crashing to a halt tonight at the hands of Sporting Kansas City. Cam Duke with his first ever MLS goal.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
The 18, the Marcus Sargent goes to his left, hard strike, and it's in the net, 2-1 Oakland. Blanchett, another massive stop. Shoots, deflected, and a big save from Rawls. As Asante takes this on. Oh, that's a tremendous goal from Solo.
Halftime at Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City. all square between Sporting KC2 and Memphis 901 FC as they are level 1 goal apiece after the first 45 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the best moments from the first half. An entertaining matchup in the Central Division as Memphis came in on a 4-match unbeaten streak, but an early chance for Enoch Mushagalusa for SKC2.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few of these big diagonals, and Mushagalusa probably should have put that way, just like this one should have been put away. And here's the goal that comes. Look at the pace of this boy. 6'1", I think you were saying him, and he's lost rod, and he just pokes it away. Great finish.
Kyle Murphy, 2 goals in 2 games against SKC2, his 7th goal of the season. Put Memphis ahead in the early stages. Wilson Harris back into the starting lineup. That one was blocked away. It was SKC2 with the majority of the chances in the first half. Another one fell to Mushagalusa here inside the area.
Yeah, keep on counting this 3. That's the 4th chance there. Here's the PK. Yeah, and that's just brilliant dribbling.
Finally the breakthrough. Murphy scored in the 12th minute. Harris equalized from the penalty spot just 13 minutes later. 25th minute, his first goal of the season in the USL Championship. Mushagalusa been a menace in the first 45 minutes. He required a save there from Kyle Morton. And we'll take a look at the first half stats. And SKC2, 6 changes from the lineup, and they have been on the front foot for most of this first half.
Yeah, they've definitely controlled the tempo of the game. The biggest one that sticks out there is 12 shots to 3. Admittedly, only 3 have been on target, but at some point, Sporting Kansas City 2 has to take advantage when they have games that they're controlling the tempo. And that doesn't always happen, but in this game, they should be up by now, at least by a goal, and put themselves in a situation where they're hard to chase after. They 57% possession over Memphis. That's not a shock there, and they deserved to be ahead, but quite frankly, it's 1-1, and this is a stage where they've got to move on, and they've got to start putting goals in the back of the net to win these games.
Yeah, this is one of those matches where you feel SKC2 will be desperate to get all 3 points. Just 3 wins on the season, looking for their 4th. A big turnaround from the first match where SKC2 only had 28% possession in Memphis. As we take a look now at the upcoming schedule for SKC2. And, well, they'll play Louisville City for the 3rd time in seemingly the last 4 or 5 days. It's another matchup with the Central Division leaders. A couple of road games, a couple of tough road games in the near future for SKC2.
Yeah, it's there's no easy game anyway, but I'm pretty sure they won't want to see Louisville again, because Louisville is, for me, and they're top of the division, but they're cream of the crop. And to play this game and then turn around and go back to Louisville is probably not going to be something they desire to do.
And then Birmingham Legion in 2nd in the Central before a 3-match homestand to close out the month of August for SKC2. What else is going around the league in the USL Championship? Well, Tacoma Defiance and New Mexico United currently scoreless before a couple of games to round out the weekends and round out the night. Miami FC hosting Charleston Battery, LA Galaxy 2. Bit of a California clash there with San Diego Loyal. One here at the half. Gotta catch them all. And who will catch all 3 points, as they're very much up for grabs in Kansas City. We'll be right back with the second half kick. 1-1 at halftime here at Children's Mercy Park. Sporting KC 2 and Memphis 901 FC level after 45 minutes. A special guest in the house this afternoon, Ilie Sanchez of Sporting Kansas City, watching SKC2 on this lovely afternoon, the first day of August in Kansas City. Alongside Doug McClagan, I'm Carter Augustine, and well, Doug, Ilie's been treated to an intriguing first half matchup. SKC2 with a lot of the possession. It's a bit of a reverse from the first time these two teams met, but perhaps not so out of place for Memphis 901 FC.
Yeah, we'll get this crazy stat that they're undefeated in 4 games. But in all of those 4 games, they've had the lower percentage of possession in all 4. The last time they had more possession was when they played Sporting Kansas City 2, and guess what? They lost. So maybe Memphis is setting Sporting Kansas City 2 up for something here. Hopefully that's not the case, but that is a crazy stat.
1-1 after Kyle Murphy opened the scoring in the 12th minute. Wilson Harris from the penalty spot leveled the score in the 25th. We saw a halftime sub there, and it's a Balkan exchange of sorts as the Croatian Roberto Puncic on loan from Sporting Kansas City plays the first half. He is replaced by Aljaz Jankic, the highly talented 19-year-old Slovenian youth international, slotting in like for like along the back line. Back underway from sunny Kansas City. Teams have switched sides, and SKC2 now go from left to right in the second half. Central Division clash in the USL Championship, with a lot on the line for both of these teams in this matchup, as the pressure for Memphis is forced to turn over and a throw on the far side. It's clipped into the area. Salazar chests it down. Good defending from Kave Rod. He's able to scramble it clear. But the pressure here mounting from the visitors in the opening seconds of the second stanza. Finally won back by SKC2. And Doug McClagan, you were talking about it. This seems like an important match here. It's just August 1st, but especially for Sporting Kansas City 2 if they want to remain in the playoff hunt. Yeah, it's pretty much, well, for them, it's halfway through the season today, and it would be nice for them. I think if they won, they'd end up in 6th, but like I said, 1 point away from the playoff line. So you want to be in contention, especially halfway through the season, and you get a couple games and a couple runs. He's offside by quite a mile there. But you get a couple games where you win, and it just could make things interesting for them. Because not only are they playing to develop young players, we know that, but you know, when you're developing players and you're winning, that's a great situation to have. You talk about a good run of form, bringing you back into the mix. That's exactly what happened with Memphis. They're on a 4-match unbeaten streak, and with games in hand, well, comes Harris from Lindsay, and he was just offside.
Yeah, that wasn't by much, maybe half a yard. Just off on the timing.
2 loanees trying to combine there for SKC2. Just saying, Memphis with, at the beginning of the match, 4 games in hand over the 2 teams just ahead of them in the standings. Atlanta 2 in 4th, Oklahoma City in 5th. And they have games in hand on every team ahead of them as they sit in 6th place. But these are the type of games that they don't want to drop against 8th place Sporting KC2.
They've still got 20 games to play. So, and the only thing that could be, could be bad about that is that means they've got a lot of games to play in a smaller period of time. So I don't know if they'll have some weekend and then weekday games, and then you're going to need depth for your squad, but 20 games left, that's a lot.
They're queuing up in the area here, Memphis, and at the back post, Michael Salazar powers home the header past John Pulskamp. The delivery from the right was delicious, and Salazar ate it up inside the area. It's 2-1 Memphis.
And I'm pretty sure that's that man, Segbers, who played the ball in, and that was just an absolutely beautiful ball, curving away from the keeper. Salazar, all he had to do, and it wasn't easy, but all he had to do is put that on target. There's no way Pulskamp is stopping that. That's a sumptuous ball into the box, and what a great finish.
3rd goal of the season for Michael Salazar. And the strike partnership of Kyle Murphy and Michael Salazar, both brought in for 2021 for Memphis, both paying dividends on the season, and both paying dividends this afternoon as well.
Yeah, and I don't want to repeat myself, but this is now, you look back and all that possession that they had and control in the first half with those 9 shots, they could and should have been up, and now, first few minutes of the second half, they're down 1.
You saw there, just when the ball was turned over, there were 4 or 5 white shirts just lining up, trying to wait to make the run, and the space for Segbers. It looked worrying from the start, and it wound up being just that for SKC2.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot the centre-backs could do, because that ball was just put on a line in the perfect position to finish. And while, like I said, it's not an easy finish, don't get me wrong, but for a man like Salazar, that's an easy finish.
Now SKC2 have to respond after the great start to the second half for Memphis. Mushagalusa looking for the reverse pass. Duke just wasn't on the same wavelength.
Here's the other disturbing fact. If we remember last Wednesday, it was the first 2 or 3 minutes of the second half when Louisville sprung and got ahead. And that's got to be a little concerning for Coach Nagamura, that we're in the first 5 minutes and we've given up a goal in the last 2 games now in the start of the second half. That's a little disturbing.
Powerful header there from the second half sub, Aljaz Jankic. Here he is sliding it over to Kave Rod. Lindsay just halted by the pressure of Dre Fortune, so SKC2 back over to the left side.
We talked about the possession earlier from Memphis being lower than the other teams they played against. Here's a turnover that could be dangerous again.
Jahan Rod caught in possession, and Salazar has Murphy to his right. He gives it to Murphy, first time strike. Cast aside by Pulskamp. 2 goal scorers combining for Memphis on that attack, and it's an important save from the young goalkeeper for SKC2.
Yeah, dangerous turnover right on the halfway line, and he hits this one. This is an excellent save. Big, strong hands. Great job, Pulskamp.
Murphy was looking for his second of the afternoon. Now Salazar. That take a deflection. Referee just having a thought about it, and no, it's going to be called off Salazar for a goal kick. John Pulskamp with his first big intervention of the match, the 20-year-old on loan from SKC.
Well, a few warning signs for SKC2 here. A couple of really good opportunities. Now they're trailing. It's going to be tough because Memphis are used to not having a boatload of possession, but defend and organize well. So this is going to be a chore, that's for sure.
Dakers tackled that out of play. It's on the floor, just holding his ankle for a second. He's throwing it back in for SKC2. Harris drags it back to try and escape Paul, but the captain stuck to his duty there for Memphis. Lindsay now for Cisneros. Roberts looking for Cisneros. Well read by Laurent Kisiedu. He's able to play it off. Cisneros out for a goal kick. You mentioned it, Doug. Memphis, only Oakland have played less games in the entire USL Championship. Coming to this match, just 12 matches played. So it will be fascinating to see how the schedule congestion affects Memphis through the rest of the season. They certainly have put themselves in a good position with the points they've accrued through their opening 12. Duke, crunching challenge in the center circle, and it's popped to Mushagalusa. Segbers, excellent in the 1v1 defensive duties there.
Good defending there, but he had to be excellent because that was one-on-one and there was no supporting players. He was on an island there, so excellent defending there from Mark Segbers. If he gets that wrong, Mushagalusa is in.
Just saw the steal in the midfield from Christian Duke on that particular occasion. It's now Memphis, and it was a delicate touch from Kyle Murphy to bring that down, and was able to win the throw. And they look for the big switch. Dakers, he's got Reynolds charging behind him, and he slots it in. Defended away by SKC2. It'll be a corner for Memphis. And excuse me, that was Mark Segbers again coming down the right side.
Well, what a great ball from Logue first, and then secondly, Dakers and Segbers have been very smart on choosing the runs. Like I said, Mushagalu's brilliant forward, but he's not used to defending. So anytime Segbers can get up, there's always a 2v1 out there against LaFleur, and he's taken full advantage. He's sprinted a good 60 to 70 yards to get in that position to create the opportunity to get the cross in. So they're going to have to be aware of that situation out on that left flank for Sporting Kansas City.
Ensuing corner, curled in with the right foot, outswing and delivery, headed back at the edge of the box and picked up by LaFleur. Outlet pass for Roberts. Oh, he is stood up in his place. Wonderful work from Reynolds. This took an awkward deflection, brought down by Salazar. Pulskamp had to be alive. It's out for a corner and a big save from John Pulskamp. And here's just a correction. It'll be a goal kick. Pulskamp was still yelling after the ref had already signaled that he had made the wrong call on the first call, but another chance off this awkward deflection.
Watch him bring this ball down, though. Look at this for a first touch. That's not bad at all. Unfortunately, was just slightly run away from him, but great goalkeeping there to come out and make himself big. And I guess it must have ricocheted back off Salazar, but...
Certainly John Pulskamp was convinced, and so too the refereeing crew. As referee Matthew Corrigan initially called a corner and then wound up correcting himself. And off that clash inside the 6-yard box, Michael Salazar is down, being attended to by the training staff for Memphis.
Yeah, it was a great touch by Salazar. However, if it was just a little bit closer, he'd have got to it first and poked that one away, and then obviously would have avoided the injury. But having said that, that was not an easy ball to bring down because there's a big, massive deflection with the ball spinning with a top spin towards the keeper. So hopefully he'll be okay there.
He's jogging along the near sideline, as for the time being, Memphis down a man, waiting for Salazar to come back onto the pitch. He does now, as SKC2 have a throw. Back to 11v11. We'll just keep an eye on Salazar. Maybe suffered a few knocks. Wilson Harris has dribbled through several defenders. His cross blocked at the near post, and he's created a corner basically out of nowhere, Wilson Harris.
Yeah, that's great foot skills from the big man there. Unfortunately, the first time he looked, nothing was on to cross, and then the second time he pushed it forward, it just, everything closed down. Unfortunately, there was no way of getting it through there, but great footwork.
Corner to come for SKC2, and it's Jamil Roberts standing over it. Left-footed delivery, deep towards the back post. Mushagalusa got there. Harris flicked it up. Good claim from Kyle Morton.
No one's up top. Keeper slow. All right, go back to formation.
Brought in on July the 9th, Kyle Morton and the 27-year-olds. Good leap there in traffic to bring it down for Memphis. Releases it towards the center line. There's another wonderful first touch from Michael Salazar.
I thought Salazar was quite quiet in the first half, but the first few minutes of the second half, he's looked absolutely tremendous.
Perhaps that challenge at the end of the first half just sparking Memphis into life here at the start of the second half. And it sparked Paulo Nagamura into a couple of changes just before the hour mark. As two loanees from Sporting. And this probably was in the game plan from the start, as Wilson Harris And Jalen Lindsay checked out of the match. Caden Pierre checks in for Lindsay. And Roger Smith checks in for Wilson Harris.
Yeah, it suggests that they were told, hey, you got to get some minutes in for these boys, get the minutes in, and then get the replacements in. So, like for like in both positions.
Well, Harris, as we mentioned, played 13 minutes last night against FC Dallas in MLS play. And 7 players for SKC2 in their matchday roster today were unused subs on the bench in that Dallas match. Sporting KC2 taking advantage of the proximity of the matches between the two clubs. And 2 players on loan, lasting just under an hour. As coming in, Caden Pierre and Roger Smith. Rod looking for Pierre, and he's done well to sort his feet out. Pierre tried to help it into the path of Smith. It took a deflection, so it's out for a throw. Sporting KC in their system, blessed with another big-time right-back prospect in Caden Pierre. Roberts, that's a clever header, looking for Cisneros. Well, he was just a half sec late, and Denial Logue blasted it off the youngster out of play.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, because you've got, Jalen Lindsay, who's waiting behind Zusi, and then behind Lindsay, you got Caden Pierre. So that's pretty solid right-back situation for the next few years.
Ramsey is still going strong. As Francis Atuahene checks into the match, replacing Dre Fortune. Both teams yelling at the referee to give them the decision, and it goes the way of the home side as we cross over into the final half hour of the match. Mushagalusa spun away from danger and shifts it over to the right side. Pierre surrounds the first challenge. It was blocked, and is that a handball called by the referee? Perhaps just that first challenge from the newcomer Atuahene is called for a foul. Well, the Memphis players are still wondering what the call was, and I have to admit, I am as well.
Yeah, not really sure what that was. He must have done obviously something we couldn't see, but the ref was right there. Give him credit, he's right on top of the play, so he must have seen something that was not right. This could be dangerous with a whipping ball with that left foot here from Roberts, spinning in towards the keeper. Any touch here could go anywhere, and for Sporting Kansas City 2, hopefully that's called the back of the net.
Roberts, it's a good delivery. Well, that's exactly what you were looking for, Doug McLagan, and it was a good service from Roberts and was inches from finding something inside the area.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask for a better service than that, but you got the big, tall Niall Logue who's sitting on that 6-yard box, and he got his head to it, else that could have been extremely dangerous for the goalkeeper there, because like I said, anybody touches that and it's going towards goal, and the only way keeper saves it is a reaction save, and or if the ball hits him. So great ball in, but great defending again by the big man.
5th corner of the match for SKC2. It's much too deep. Retrieved by Roger Smith. Second phase coming for the home side. Cave Rod into the near post. Duke was challenging. That was a stooping challenge from Niall Logue. Unorthodox, but it worked.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Sporting Kansas City 2 has seen something on set pieces, but all their corners have gone deep to the far post. And they've gone to Mushagalusa, which I would not normally have, when you're looking for a ball in the air, is to aim for him with his head. He's more of a, as they say, a player with his feet. So I'm not sure if they're just not hitting them right, or whether that is in the game plan, I don't know.
There has been a pattern that it's emerged through these set pieces, corners for SKC2. Here's Jankic just playing it out for a throw.
Maybe they're just trying to play it his way as far as you can from Niall Lowe because he's so tall.
Here he is. Just 6 days short of his 26th birthday, Logue. He's asking for his players to check to on the near side. Got 190. He stoops down it low again to win a header, but a foul called on Memphis. Leston Paul disagrees, but it'll be a free kick to SKC 2.
Yeah, it looked a little soft one, but maybe he was just denying Christian Duke to get to the ball. I'm assuming in an illegal manner.
Jankic, and now the floor. Well, to work that into the feet of Mushikalusa. Just a little bit of a hesitation into the area. It's into the chest of Carroll and helped out for a throw before it trickled out for a corner. Just a turn of pace there for Mushikalusa. Roger Smith. Well, we've seen him score a screamer to open his account for SKC2 from that position, but he couldn't quite get his feet under him on that occasion.
You could see he knew what he wanted to do, but his first touch didn't quite go where he wanted, and then, and then he snatched at it, and it was just a pass back basically for the keeper.
Murphy trying to run around Jankic. It's a good touch around the defender, but he couldn't find Salazar with the pass.
Boy's got strength, the boy's got pace. I mean, that's twice we've seen him go one-on-one with a player, and he's outran them, and he's been stronger.
Now at the other end, it's a good pass over the top for Mushikalusa. He tried to get around low, good tackle. Cisneros picked it up. Smith going for the curler. High and wide and out of play.
And again, you can see what he wants to do. He's just trying to bend that ball into the top of 90, but just a little bit off. As soon as he got it, he thought, yeah, I got him leaning one way, I'm going to that far post, and yeah, it looked pretty close to me.
Decent attempt for Roger Smith. Jahan Rod wins the header. Cisneros with the second, Duke with the third, but it only goes as far as Laurent Issedu. Now Carroll tried to whip that around the corner, looking for Dakers, defended by LaFleur.
So I think Sporting Kansas City 2 is going to create opportunities. It's whether they're going to finish those opportunities here, because I think, by the looks of it, Memphis 901 look like they're quite comfortable sitting in that 4-4-2 formation and defending.
Good move from Memphis down the right, and Kaveh Rod with the defensive intervention for SKC2.
Yeah, I think both teams have defended the 6-yard box very well, because both teams have got in behind, and a lot of crosses are not getting across the face of the goal because of good defending. Here's an opportunity.
First time cross towards Murphy. Oh, that could have gone anywhere. It's out for a corner. Kaveh Rod at the full stretch to get ahead of Kyle Murphy.
Well, just the angle we're standing here, that's maybe 6 inches off of a, if you were forward, that would be an unbelievable finish. That is so close. And another fantastic ball in. I think, was it Segbers or Dakers? But it all set up again by a long diagonal ball from Niall Logan. We've seen him play like 6 or 7 of those today. Beautiful cross.
So a corner to come, and Memphis take it short. Paul, who just caught, almost caught by LaFleur, who pounded the ground in frustration. Cisneros wins the header. The diminutive 17-year-old, just 5'5". A good leap in the air there to win possession for SKC2. Space on the left for Roger Smith. He's quickly closed down by combination there on the far side of Kisiedu. Segbers, but it's back again with SKC2. Caden Pierre. Cisneros. First time layoff for Mushagalusa. And patient build-up from Sporting Kansas City 2.
See, Memphis is quite happy, just like I said, to sit in that 4-4-2 block and be patient, shift over. Every time that ball's being moved from one player to the next, we're just shifting over, closing the gaps, and not allowing the tough penetrating pass that SKC2 is looking for. But that's a wonderful ball outside to Pierre.
Mushagalusa with the delivery. Pierre fakes it right and cuts inside left. Finds Cisneros at the top of the box. His shot blocked. Roberts was lurking before Logue was able to clear.
But if you look at Memphis right now, all 10 players are in between the corners or the edges of the 18-yard box. All compact in the middle, nice and tight. Really makes it tough to break down.
Just waiting for that chance to win the ball back, which is done now by Kisiedu. And here come Memphis. Salazar looking for Murphy. Polskamp's off his line, and he got to the ball right at the edge of the area.
Give him credit there. If he's not there, Murphy is walking in there, and we've seen him finish one already, and that's probably going to be in the back of the net. So well read by Polskamp.
Now Cisneros trying to put it in behind for Mushagalusa. Off his line, Morton claims. Here's another look at that quick counterattack from Memphis.
As soon as Salazar got the ball, he took a look to the far side and saw Murphy pulling away. So it's a fantastic ball in. But I think Polskamp read it and said, I got to go here, because if I don't go, we're in trouble. And give him credit, they did very well.
Rod and Jankic there just crossing signals. And a late challenge on Kave Rod is going to be called a foul and a free kick for the home side. And this will be the last action of the match for Michael Salazar, as he will be replaced by Dominic Orduro.
Also leaving the game, number 11, Michael Salazar. Entering the game, number 18, Dominic Orduro, and number 8, Raul Gonzalez.
Andre Reynolds also being withdrawn, and so two players that were listed as questionable for injuries. Perhaps head coach Ben Perman just not wanting to play Tom Oduro and Raul Gonzalez from the start. They both started against FC Tulsa a week ago. And so both come on as you take a look there at the youngster Andre Reynolds. Heading to the bench, being replaced by Raul Gonzalez at left back, and Dominic Oduro replacing Michael Salazar, who, as it stands, has the match-winning goal for Memphis.
You might see a slight change in format. Slight meaning this, instead of playing two up top, they might be a 4-4, kind of 1-1, where I think Kisiedu is going to play a little bit deeper in behind Murphy. So a little bit more defensively minded, almost like having 5 in midfield now. They're quite happy to sit back and try and come away with a 2-1 victory here.
They do look dangerous when those counters arise. Memphis 901 FC.
Yeah, I think they're quite happy doing that. I had to laugh at the coach the last game. They beat Tulsa 1-0, scored just before half-time, but the percentage of possession was so low, he said it was one of their worst performances of the year, and they still won 1-0. And in the end, if they walk away with a win here, even if they have lower percentage possession than Sporting Kansas City 2, a win is a win is a win. And that's what they're looking for here.
SKC2 looking for something at the end of some really good spells. Perhaps feeling unfortunate to not have a lead after the first half. They found it a bit more difficult here in the second to create clear-cut chances, but Mushagalusa into the space on the near side. He fools Logue with the step over. It's helped on by Roberts. That was a brilliant attempt from Jamil Roberts, but Morton was the first to that pass.
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful flick on. I don't know if he's flicking it towards goal or just flicking it behind him to hopefully for someone coming in at that far post to finish. Unfortunately, Smith had already made his run into the box, so it cleared his head, but that was a beautiful little flick at the front post.
Murphy trying to get in behind. He's offside. Approaching the final quarter of an hour. Memphis lead as Kyle Murphy opened the scoring in the first half in the 12th minute before Wilson Harris, his first goal of the 2021 USL season, leveled it from the penalty spot. Memphis got the go-ahead goal early on in the second half through Michael Salazar. And that's where we stand 2-1. And that was a promising looking move just now for SKC2. Just couldn't quite connect on the near touchline.
Yeah, they've done it a couple of times where the ball's come out wide to Caden Pierre, and he's rolled it first time into Roberts. That time Pierre didn't hit it as clean as he wanted to. So it's the same concept.
Blocked by Segbers. Second attempt, saved by the goalkeeper. Kick save from Morton. Smith still going at Segbers. Try to create room. Segbers out of play. It'll be a corner kick, but some good attacking intent shown by Roger Smith.
Yeah, good attempt by Smith. Good goalkeeping again. Like you say, kick save, but got around the back there. Got blocked, but then pulled it across the face of goal, and this is a good kick save. If he could have pulled it a little bit further back, there may have been someone to get on it, but couldn't quite get the right angle on it.
Jahan Rod whips it into the near post. Jankic is there! Over the goal. But a big chance to level the score for SKC2 from a corner.
Yeah, that's a great effort there, but that is a tough one to finish because you want to get a flick on it, but if you get too much of a flick like you did there, then it's going to go over the bar. There's a chance you go to get a light flick and you completely miss it. So really tough skill there, but that's a good effort to get on that ball first. And you're kind of hoping that that's just going to land in the top of the upper 90 there, but just a little bit too high.
It's the sixth corner of the match. Oh no, Kyle Murphy now in behind. Pulskamp, a big right hand, and he keeps SKC2 in the match.
He's kept him in a couple times today, and give him credit. He's really done well today.
Morton with a clever header just outside his area. And so Memphis trying to come through. Well, Kyle Murphy has had a couple of chances saved by John Pulskamp in the second half.
Yeah, and it just came from a flick. It was actually flicked through to him. And he just made himself big, and that is great. Big and patient, waiting for the forward to make a decision. As soon as he made a decision, out he goes. He just got his fingertips to it.
Two subs coming on for SKC2. That's their final two of the match, as Ozzy Cisneros and Isaiah LaFleur are withdrawn. Kobe Jones and Petr Kujic checking into the match for SKC2. So all 5 substitutions have been used by Paulo Nagamura. It's just interesting to see where the 2 players would line up in the formation.
It looks like Kobe Jones is kind of lining up as a left back, but I've got a feeling when they attack, he's not going to be a left back. He's probably going to push into that midfield role.
Roberts trying to create some space for the left foot. Instead, he slides it across for Duke. Felt the touch from Dakers. Christian Duke wins the free kick right on the edge of the area.
Yeah, I don't think Duke had any idea that Dakers was coming behind him. So unfortunately for Dakers, he couldn't hit the brakes in time and just knocked him over. So it's a nice free kick. Sporting Kansas City 2 will get there. I think Duke got a little bit lucky there, the fact that Dakers rammed into him. But here's an opportunity. It's going to be a tough one because it's really close. It's going to be hard to get up and over the wall. But I think we saw Mr. Johnny Russell do this the other day. So let's see who's on the ball there. Is that Kujic on the ball?
Kujic standing with the right-footed delivery. Roberts there with his left foot.
I might go for Roberts on this one. What do you think?
Seeing the cultured left foot from Roberts. He's still looking for his first goal as a pro. We saw it perhaps from this distance. You go goalkeeper's side with power. Options here on the edge of the box for SKC2.
It's about a 7 or 8 man wall, but looks of it, maybe 6 in the wall. That's a wide wall, so there's not much to get round it.
Kujic tried to go underneath. It fell kindly, tipped over the bar. Morton denying Jahan Rod his first goal as a pro.
Oof, came back to him. Unfortunately, came back to him so quick that he had to snap at it. But I think it was on target, and that's another good save by Kyle Morton, who's been absolutely steady between the sticks today.
Yeah, it looked like it was just going to dip under the bar there, if not for the tip from Morton. It's a corner, and Roberts with the left. Again, a deep delivery. Headed back towards goal, Mushagalusa, and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, that's the same delivery we've seen 3 or 4 times, and maybe they've seen something, or maybe that just was a little bit deeper than he was hoping. He's shaking his head a little bit like, nah, I think I might have hit that a little bit too hard. Because they had 6 or 7 boys on the line causing problems for the keeper, but unfortunately cleared all them and went all the way to the back for Mushagalusa.
Bumped forward from Morton. Header won by Jankic. And a poor pass for Pierre. Memphis have numbers on the left side. Kuich charging back. He got a little bit to it. Kisiadu was able to keep it. Left it off for Gonzalez. Round of applause for Memphis. So able to keep onto the ball, and we move into the final 10 minutes. How about that move? Wonderful from Kisiadu. He tries to slide it out to Gonzalez, and he's able to keep it in play, Raul Gonzalez.
Ooh, but at what price?
At what price indeed, as he collapses near the corner. Gonzalez, he looks to be in quite some pain. He was listed as questionable through injury to start the match. Well, here's the turnover, and Murphy again into the area at the near post. Pulskamp pushes aside. It's out for a throw on the far side, and this will just allow Memphis to get their trainers on and come and take a look at Raul Gonzalez.
So Carl Murphy has had some chances today. They've all been pretty far out, not easy chances, but Pulskamp has answered it every time. This time he drove one to the near post, and Pulskamp got both hands on it. And now Pulskamp's asking him to leave the field.
Another look at what happens here to Raul Gonzalez, just onto the pitch as a sub.
That looks like, I don't know, is that maybe a groin? Yeah, it looks more like a groin because he had to stretch so far.
Non-contact, and yeah, as I was saying, he was listed as questionable heading into the match on the injury report. Might just try and run this one off as the referee's ready to get the ball back into play through this throw on the far side. Memphis temporarily down a man. Gonzalez will trot back onto the pitch. Well, a bit of gamesmanship there as he trots onto the pitch just to allow this substitution for Memphis. They do have a corner that they manufactured from the throw, Memphis.
So it looks like Gonzalez stepped on the field to take a knee to get subbed.
Well, the first time, John Pulskamp just politely asked Gonzalez and the trainer to move off the pitch. They did oblige, but he came out to just make sure Memphis were able to make this substitution. It's going to be, by the looks of things, a double change for Memphis. It's never a good sign subbing the sub as Raul Gonzalez is replaced by Breck Evans. And Skylar Thomas will come on for Kyle Murphy. Well, several chances in the second half for Kyle Murphy, but it was his lung-bursting run down the left that opened the scoring. And he has his 7th goal of the season for Memphis before being withdrawn here after 83 minutes. Both players go into the box for Memphis. It's delivered in from the set piece, and, well, Breck Evans straight out the frying pan into the fire, and he had a chance there to double the lead for Memphis.
Not a bad effort. He's holding his head like, oh, I should have put that on target or in the goal, but good effort.
Just seconds onto the pitch, and his first touch is a free header from the corner.
So I think what we're seeing now is an even more change in the formation. They've gone to like a 5-back with 4 in midfield now, so.
Memphis trying to hold on at the end of this one. Pierre around a defender into Mushagalusa. Helps it back to Pierre. It's just a bit slack on the pass for Roberts, who had to drop back to retrieve. What a ball! Just beyond the run of Roger Smith.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, because that is an absolutely beautiful ball in, and I'm not sure if Smith just mistimed his. He might have mistimed it. I'm not sure if that went past him or not. Oh, he never got to it. Yeah, so he just couldn't get to it. But if he touches that, that's just like Salazar's goal. He touches that, that's in the back of the net, no question about it. So beautiful ball in, that's for sure.
SKC2 desperate to find an equalizer as we approach the final 5 minutes of normal time. Pierre just overran that. He thought he had Atuaheni, and now it's in behind Memphis again. 1v1 with the goalkeeper, and again Pulskamp comes up with the goods in the second half. They've been a threat all second half long on the counter, and John Pulskamp comes up big again for SKC2.
He might well be the player of the game for SKC2, especially if they can pull something out of this in the last few minutes. Again, just made himself big. Ball hit him. I mean, he didn't do anything fantastic other than close him down, make himself big. And he's pulled off 3, 4, 5 massive saves today, else this game could be done and dusted already.
He's flashed some evidence as to why he is so highly regarded by the Sporting Kansas City coaches. Started match day 1 for SKC and MLS. Here comes Roberts, put in by Kuic. He's into the area, it took a deflection, and the deflection off Evans went into the hands of Morton.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that ball's just got to be crossed a little bit sooner, because it almost seems like once they take the touch and take a look what's in the box, all I see is like 4 or 5 white defenders standing on that 6-yard box, and there's just nothing on. They just close that area down so well, and there's no one to find in there. That's just tremendous team defense there by Memphis. So maybe an early ball that goes in behind the defense early. Of course, you've got to have the runners going in there too.
Foul for a Memphis free kick. Time running out for Sporting KC2. Kobe Jones just sliding in front of that one. We're used to seeing him as more of an attack-minded player, but he's come into left back and did well on that occasion. Now Cave Rod towards Pierre. Cuts back and around Atuaheni finds Mushagalusa. Jahan Rod to his twin brother Cave. Roger Smith.
You see Memphis shifting and shifting and shifting, cutting down the gaps, cutting down the opportunities to play penetrating passes. Best way, I think, for Sporting Kansas City 2 is to get the ball out wide and get round the back and then deliver that service from there.
Kuic turned it over, but he read the intents of Memphis trying to get out, and he won it right back. And now Mushagalusa around the first defender, but not around the second. Wonderfully done by the captain, Leston Paul, who actually was taking a crash into the boards. And actually, I think it's a bit of a cramp for the captain.
Yeah, great defending, because again, we've talked about this earlier, Mushagalusa had the fullback on an island, and in that situation, that's advantage Sporting Kansas City 2. But if you watch, Paul just sprinted across there. Sprinted and then calmed down, and then once Mushagalusa pushed the ball past him, just stepped across the path of the runner and let it run out for a goal kick. So great defending from the veteran there.
30 caps for Trinidad and Tobago, Leston Paul. And he trots his way back into the center of this Memphis formation. They try and hold on into the final 90 seconds of normal time. Evans smashes that away from his defensive half. Jankic under pressure, can only head this out for a Memphis throw.
That's a tough one to judge. Back home, we call that an up and under, but that's used in rugby or rugby league. That almost went higher than the stadium there, so to bring that down and keep it in bounds, not easy to do, but that just runs a few more seconds off the clock for Memphis. And they're getting close to getting 3 points here and ending up third in the division with plenty of games in hand, so that's a good situation for them. Not so good for Sporting Kansas City too.
Roberts goes down on that challenge, being told that there'll be 3 minutes added on. Just 30 seconds or so away from stoppage time as the foul against Memphis allows SKC2 to try and push up the pitch. Jenkins over to Kobe Jones.
You can hear the coach, as soon as that ball goes wide, they're screaming, get out there quick. Don't give them time, and do not allow them the time to whip that cross in.
To which, frustrated there with the movement ahead of him. His pass repelled, and SKC2 have to reload. 3 minutes of stoppage time up on the board. 3 minutes for SKC2 to try and find an equalizer.
Yeah, if they're going to rotate that ball, they just got to rotate it quicker. It's got to get to those wings quicker.
Jones with a slack first touch, but he won it back with the tackle, and now he charges forward. Jahanrod for Roberts. Onto his left, headed up and over. Niall Logue, not for the first time, got in the way of that shot.
I was going to say that's a little deja vu again, because he seems to get in the way of every blooming shot. It's a good effort there by Roberts, but Niall Logue's just stand there to nod it over the bar.
He's been a Titan at the back for Memphis.
Referee's going to stop play, say none of the argy-bargy in the box. Let's be tough, but let's be fair. So everybody's in that box. That ball has got to go between the sticks, not a deep one like the last 4 or 5.
There it is, Roberts into the 6, but just a bit too close. And Morton calm and composed, and he was strong amidst the bodies.
He's so good, it's like taking candy from a baby there. You put it in the air, it's his ball every time. He's been brilliant today.
He sends it forward again, Morton. Jones with good muscle there to work around Dakers, and he wins it for SKC2. Roger Smith into the corner. Looking for the cross, took a deflection, awkward hop in the area. And that might be the first touch of the match for Skylar Thomas, and he got it right.
Yeah, well handled there, because that ball could have spun, hit one of his arms, and we got a PK. So great concentration there to get it, and then just to whack it clear. Can they move it quicker, though? Can they get it out there quicker to Kobe Jones? If not Kobe Jones, Caden Pierre here.
So man down off the ball for Memphis, and the referee has taken a second and just signaling there that he confirmed with his 4th official, and it's a yellow card for Jahanrod for the challenge off the ball. Kisiedu is down, and that might just dissolve the final opportunity for SKC2.
Well, I think Memphis is going to make sure that it does. They'll be taking their time. I'm not saying if there was an elbow throw, or... Let's have a look then. Oh, come on. Give me a break, will you?
Well, that was signaled by the 4th official to the main referee.
Well, how's the 4th official see that and say that's a foul?
Second look, a shake of the head from Paulo Nagamura is very well deserved and understandable. Bit of gamesmanship there from Laurent Kisiedu. It's paid off. Yellow card for Jahanrod. We're now past the 3 allotted minutes of minimum time added on. One final chance to get the ball forward for SKC2. Duke. He's fouled. And Pulskamp Signals for everybody to move forward for the home side.
Yeah, relax, take your time, because he's going to let you get the free kick off here, but I just get bodies in the box.
He lays it short. Cave Rod looking for the back post. Jones on the run. Headed out and out of bounds, and they manufacture a corner in the final seconds.
Maybe it's time for Postcamp, as good as he's been, to finish off and get a tied game here. Everyone's got to go in, and this ball is, first of all, it's got to be kept away from Kyle Morton.
Into the near post. Duke was there. He heads it over the bar, and that's the last act of the match. Memphis make it 5 matches unbeaten. They get a massive 3 points on the road here against Sporting KC2. Full time from Kansas City. Sporting KC2 1, Memphis 901 FC 2. They get all 3 points. We'll be right back to wrap things up from Children's Mercy Park. Full time from Children's Mercy Park, Memphis 901 FC with the odd goal in 3, and they get all 3 points on the road, dispatching their Central Division rivals, SKC2. As we take a look at the full-time stats, and well, Doug, you're talking about it. The possession, not an issue for Memphis, as they were comfortable in the second half and got the winner.
Yeah, the lowest percentage with 37%, and again, that's the 5th undefeated game with a lower percentage of possession than the opposition. So they've got a plan. It worked. The biggest kicker for Sporting Kansas City 2 is when they were in charge of the game, they did not put the ball in the back of the net, and in the end, it's come back to bite them. And 3 great points for Memphis. Now they're up to 3rd position with some games in hand too.
A big results on the road for the team from the Bluff City. They get all 3 points with the odd goal in 3. For Doug McClagan and the rest of our all-star crew here in Kansas City, I'm Carter Augustine. Thanks for watching. Final score here at Children's Mercy Park. Sporting KC2 1, Memphis 901 FC 2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.